Here we are. Can everyone see? Excellent. So we've got QLC. So where do we go from there, Caleb?
So you go to Q lining control plus.
All right, come jump over here.
Oh. So
All right, and this is it.
you will see that there is multiple buttons down the bottom from fixtures all the way to inputs and outputs. Oh yeah, okay, see. I'm gonna bring this down.
Have you got it on your computer yet, Jacob?
Yeah.
Excellent.
There we are.
There we go.
Inputs to outputs.
So there's our. Yep.
Yeah. So to set up a light, you need to know because this can only control DMX lights. And if you want to control dimmers, which is like your standard light bulb that gets voltage to it, which allows it to be brighter and softer, you need to get a DMX to dimmer thing. They cost like $300, so probably not worth it. And LEDs are way cooler anyway. So you go to inputs, inputs and outputs.
I'll do it.
And then, so you have 4 universes, which basically means that you have, so you can have up to 512 DMX inputs per universe. So that means you can have like over 2,000, but we only need 1 universe. So then you can
click on this first one.
Yeah. So here is where you can choose your inputs and outputs. So if you want, so we were using, I have it, don't I? I can show you.
Mm.
We're using this cool Intech open DMX USB thing. Just plug a MIDI into the back, and then it's got a DMX output here.
So that's how you're sending.
So that's how I'm sending.
That's how you're outputting the device. So
Yeah.
this.
Nick has it. They're like $80, but I think it's pretty worth it if you can control your own lights on stage and stuff like that.
So it means there'd be a device here that says
called,
Entech something.
No,
Oh, it's called
DMX USB, which is right at the top.
Oh, cool.
And I had an issue with this yesterday because I couldn't get it working. So you need to click on. Oh yeah, sick. You need to click on DMX USB. I don't know what this is. Network preferences, I assume, or should I just cancel?
Yeah.
I don't know. I clicked on here,
Yeah.
and then I pressed this button here, which I don't know what it means.
Settings probably.
And then refreshed, and then close it, and now it's in there, and you can set it as an. Sorry.
Set it back.
Oh yeah, and then you can set it as an output.
Cool.
So the other thing that you can do is you can trigger things via MIDI or via like this Entech Wing is a lighting desk, so you can trigger things via that. So you can choose an input if you want. So we'll probably use Max.
And what we want to, we want to see if we can get MIDI from Max into this. Cool. So we've selected MIDI from Max 1 as the input.
Cool.
No, but we're going to do it on. There's lights at school.
Yeah.
We can set this up. We're going to do it on screen, and then if that works, then theoretically we just plug in the lights, and then off you go.
So before we continue,
So has everyone done that? Taylor, have you done that?
I have strong follow through, so it's.
You won't be able to get the input unless you've got the thing plugged in, and we only have one. So.
Oh yeah, don't worry about the output to the DMX USB, but just set your input as MIDI.
Yeah, I have that as an option.
Maybe it's because Max isn't open, or you haven't set.
Is Max open?
Max is.
I can't remember.
It just showed up, so maybe it's like.
Well, do we have Max open? Yeah, we have Max open.
Yeah.
Sick.
No,
it's showing.
Oh yeah.
So
you just gotta have Max open.
Do you guys know how DMX actually works? Because that's pretty important. So DMX works by sending a signal at a 1 DMX channel. So you only need 1 cable. And it goes into one light, and then that light has an out, and you can daisy chain it because it's how DMX works is it's just sending bits from 0 to 512 depending on the. I think you'd need a different one of these for each universe. I don't really understand universes, but it's like Chinese whispers. So
it's probably like a universe, probably like an IP.
Yeah. So you.
Does it work like?
So if you say if you've got one light and you assign that to channel 1. And then you assign the next light to channel 2 and the next light to channel 3. It just sends it. The light only take. You set it on the light to only take input from number 1, and then onwards. So it's like it's only taking the data from what it needs and then passing the rest on. If that makes sense. So that's how it works.
So it doesn't work like if you put like say like a pedal board and an effects send and then all of them.
No, it's very it's like kind of direct, streamlined through.
How many is per universe?
512. And
that's because of network.
Your networking, yeah. The other, and then okay, so but the trick is here is that an LED has 3, 4, anywhere like if you have a mover, it can have up to 50 DMX channels in it. So
and so that's dependent on which specific light you buy.
So
cool.
For example, the lights that I bought have 7 DMX channels, which is intensity, which is like your on-off, and then RGB, and then a strobe, and then some swatchy things. Standard, like I work in a theater, and the theater there they have 4 channels, which is like RGB, and then a white. So they're like $400 lights, but they're really good. So like they all have different amounts, so you need to assign them. So if we go over to fixtures,
so down the bottom here.
Yeah, down on the bottom.
So this is the part where we configure specifically for the light that you have, right? So we're going to pretend. All we've done is we've ticked max is going to be where we get out the MIDI from max is where we're going to get our input from, and then once you have it connected to the one of these, that's going to be output. So that's all we need to do there. So now we're going to go to fixtures. We're going to pretend that we've got Caleb's lights, which he just explained have 7 DMX channels. Yeah. 7 DMX channels.
Another thing you can make a mistake with is setting the same lights to the same channel. It doesn't stuff anything up, but it just means that you don't have individual control. Right. And if also I made a big mistake because I set one to like 1 to 5 and the next one from 5 to 10, and so they were overlapping. So one light would be flickering red and strobing, and the other light would be doing because it's getting.
They're both using the same number.
Yeah.
So can we pretend we've got one light?
Yeah.
So we're going to pretend we've got one light in our system that we're using. So then in this fixtures panel, where do we go? We press the plus?
Press the plus.
So everyone press the plus.
And now here is your templates. So when you're using like a lighting desk, you can insert templates. So if you have a mover, it's an absolute bitch to control, because you have like, I think standard movers have 25 channels of moving. Yeah, because they have like different things that can different frames that can go over and different shapes and stuff. So you can insert via a template, which is just like a preset, and then it just has everything labeled up for you. But buy lights off eBay, they don't have that. So
so we're going to go down to the bottom to generic, and we're just going to select the first generic one. Is that right?
Yeah, and then
so we're here. So everyone's clicked on that. Then we move over to the right.
And I would just call it. You can name it if you want.
You can name it whatever.
Yeah,
so
just like RGB or LED, or whatever.
Yep.
I named mine like positions on stage. Yeah, light 1.
Yeah.
It's really important though. Like naming is super important in this program.
Okay.
And then so you set your first light on the back just by pressing up and down to address number 1.
So on the actual light, they'll have like a little screen or segment display where you have to select which channel it's starting from. So we'll do it on the light, and we're going to assume this one's starting at 1.
And now there's 7 channels.
Yeah, so we said on this hypothetical light that Caleb's got, it's got 7 channels that it uses.
If you click on the little finger next to the dress, it shows you how to set it up.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Some lights have that. Mine
there we go.
But like actual good lights have that. So
cool. So has everyone done that? So you've just typed in 7 there, Taylor?
7.
Yep. And then if you have, like, Caleb's setup has 4 lights, so in this quantity part we'd type in 4, but we've just got 1, so we're going to keep it at 1. Everyone cool?
And your address gap is to just make things neat.
But we'll come back to that. Yep.
Does it stagger all the addresses and channels naturally?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll go from 1 to 7 and then 8 to, I don't know.
Yeah. 8 to 14.
Yeah.
8
to 14.
Okay, so we've got our light 1 here. Is everyone up to this stage now? Light 1? Excellent. So, if, say, what I want the result to be for us today is I want us to send a MIDI note to to QLC, and for the light to turn on, and then send another MIDI message, and the lights to turn off. So I want white and black in 2 scenes. Can you tell us how to do that?
Do you want it to fade, or do you not want it not to fade?
I just want it to start just on and off. That's all I want.
Cool.
Right,
so
just to start with. So
go to functions.
All right, so everyone head to the next tab on the bottom called functions.
And then you need to press a new scene.
So
scene is, if you hover over it for like 5 seconds, it comes up with the thing, and it's really frustrating because I had to spend ages just like hovering. But the color swatch thing is a scene, and that is a standstill. So that is like if you want the room to be blue with no movement, or you want so a scene is just a static color. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, static color or static placement.
Yeah.
So if you have movers,
They'll
you want
move
them
to one.
they'll move to one spot, or they'll
So we're
Yeah.
going to need two scenes, I imagine. One
Yeah.
with lights on,
and one.
one with lights off. So let's
Yeah.
create the first scene. We press
then-
that and we get this.
And you get this, and then you need to add where the plus is.
So we need to name it first.
Yeah.
So we're going to
we'll call this
scene.
on.
Let's call this white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And then once we've named it, over on the left we press
Plus,
this. Yep.
Yeah, and that allows you to choose a light.
So which light we're going to use in this scene?
Yeah.
So we're just selecting this light
And then
and then press OK.
And then
Now, great. So we've created a new scene. We've named it white, and we've said which fixtures it's going to include.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you can choose what the scene actually looks like. You can go to light one, where opposite general.
So here.
Another really, I don't know if any of you guys are going to do this, but another really helpful thing is this thing here. If you have heaps of fixtures, it allows you to see them all across, which is
that's
like
cool.
really handy.
Even if it's not in the scene.
No, you have to choose it to be.
Oh
in
yeah,
the scene.
in the scene. So it lets
But-
you see all. Oh, you
but
mean
you-
it zooms?
Yeah, it zooms in
okay,
and
yeah.
out, so you can, because I have 4 lights and it's just really frustrating to click
Yeah.
across. and I
So
know-
that'll like just show all.
Yeah, so that's just a really
Excellent.
helpful button. And then so on my light, I don't know, because if we get
So
lights here,
yeah, let's pretend we're talking about your lights,
Yeah.
Caleb. So here are our 7 channels
Yeah.
that we said. What do they specifically for your light? What do they
so
represent?
it goes intensity, a red, green, blue, strobe, and then there's like a
Something.
it's like a swatch thing, and the other one is like you can time it to this music, which has got
Oh,
the
it reacts to the audio.
yeah, but it's
Yep.
really bad. 'Cause
Okay.
It's, yeah.
So we're only going to be looking at the first 4.
Yeah.
So what settings will we need to make this
So
like white?
you would need to have the.
So you tick the one you want to
that's
use.
this is the intensity.
Yep.
So you need the intensity to be on.
Yep.
Otherwise, you won't see anything. And then, so RGB, if you put them all together, they equal white.
Great. So let's do that.
Or you can tone it.
Let's follow that. So everyone's grabbing those. So the first 4.
Another thing to watch out for
Right.
is some lights have the intensity after the RGB. Some have them. Like,
So you need to
yeah,
look at the
you need to-
specific
Every
manual
light
for the
comes
light.
with a little piece of paper that says like this is a DMX channel. Is what they mean.
So is that all we need to create our white scene?
Yeah.
Amazing. So can I imagine then to make our black scene?
Yeah.
We
Actually, what you can do.
Yep. Do we need to
because
save this at all or anything? It's
no,
all good.
no, it saves, and then you can
Yep.
just press clone, and then you don't
Oh.
have to re-add the light.
Oh, you don't
fixture
really-
back in, 'cause
that's
it's so
genius.
annoying
Yeah,
to just
yeah,
keep
yeah.
doing that.
So we've just cloned it. So right click and clone, and
Yeah.
the upside of that is we don't have to add the fixtures.
yeah,
We can change this to black.
and then
And now I would guess that would black just mean I'm just going to make these all 0 and even just turn them off?
kind of. So
Would that work? Will this be black?
Yeah. you can't
Okay.
have it seen. It you can, but it doesn't. It was really glitchy, and I couldn't
Yep.
figure out why. So
Yep.
my solution was to either have it all on one,
Yep.
like so
Really
you can
low.
just see the light, or if you have an intensity, because some
Yep.
lights don't. If you have an intensity, to just bring the intensity all the way up, but don't give it any data for each light. So
So,
you can't.
so like this.
So you like that, or you could do the opposite and have all the colors up,
But
not
no
have
intensity.
any intensity.
So
Isn't-
let's do this. So that's a particular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But let's do this for now. So let's just imagine that this is our black.
yeah.
Cool. So got that too, Taylor? That's cool. Awesome. So we've got our 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Now, my next question to you is, how do we switch between the 2? Or how do we assign the MIDI values if that's not too far ahead?
Okay, so you can go Virtual Console.
All right, so we've got a new tab now, Virtual Console
Virtual
down
Console.
the bottom.
So Virtual Console is like so you have 2 types of desks in lighting. You have like a what you would say is like an analog desk. In if you're talking about audio, so analog is like 1 fader is 1 light, or like actually, really good example is Simple Desk. It's basically an analog fader, so you can like it just has every fader and every light equals 1 piece of data, right? Or a virtual console is more like your really fancy ones now, and that you can input and customize it completely how you want.
Okay.
So you can add. So virtual console is what we need.
Yep.
Because we need that virtual console allows MIDI. Simple doesn't allow MIDI.
Right.
So if you have a standard desk, it does allow MIDI. It's just super all around the place.
Okay,
and
cool.
really
So we're going to use the
frustrating.
virtual.
Virtual is so much easier.
All right, so we're here in
So-
virtual. Now,
Can we add just give me a sec to have a look. I think that slider. I mean, we could do buttons.
Yeah.
Or we could do
try a button,
we'll
because
try a
that's what you were kind of saying
Yeah.
with the...
So
Yeah.
you can add a button, and we can go So I just click this button here. So in here you have a buttons and then button matrix, which I don't know what that means, and then sliders, slider matrix, knobs. I was using heaps of cue lists, but
Yeah, let's try it with the button.
So button,
It's just like a launch pad.
Yeah, I think it'll just end up like being like a launch pad.
yeah. So you can right click, sorry, and then widget properties. Let's just call this white.
Cool.
And then you can press this button here and add a scene. So
Awesome.
so I press this one.
Did everyone see that? You press that button to add the scene you want to contain.
So let's. Do we have a MIDI keyboard?
Yeah. Let's send it from Max.
Max. Oh yeah. So.
Or should we do it with the MIDI keyboard first because you know that works?
No, do it for Max. If we can.
Grab that MIDI keyboard.
Yeah. If we can input it. If we can input this into Max, because we won't have a signal going out of Max yet, unless you want to set one up.
Let's do this. Let's try. I want to see if this can work first.
So
just because we've switched over to a MIDI keyboard, actually, not everyone has a MIDI keyboard plugged into their computer.
No.
So let's see if we can do it from Max. Because what are you going to try? You're going to try and do auto detect.
Yeah, auto detect is what you.
Okay, so we're going into Max. We need to create a MIDI note in Max. Does anyone know how to do that? Yeah, how do you make a note in like a MIDI note in Max?
You need a keyboard then.
Note in would bring one in. Let's try using MakeNote.
Is that the keyboard?
No, that's just this thing that generates a MIDI note. Cool. So go into the help, grab all the stuff, copy, close, paste. All right. So this is just like a MIDI keyboard, just in Max. Yeah. Everyone cool there?
Yeah.
Let's look at note out. Where's that going to go? If you double click on the note out part, when it's locked, you get to select where the MIDI is going to go. Now, what port should we select to send to QLC?
From Max 1.
Max 1. Well, we're going to go to Max 1. We're going to send the MIDI to Max 1 because that's the one we selected in QLC, yeah? So can everyone select Max 1? Great. So you just lock the patcher and then double click on the note out part and you want to send the MIDI to Max 1. Great. So select that. One last little thing which I think might be useful for us is to just put a bang into the keyboard. So
from Max 1 and 2, not to Max 1 and 2. So it's only coming with from Max 1 and 2.
Right. Has everyone else got two Max?
Yeah, but that's the name of the port that that the other program is seeing, right?
Yeah.
So it's named from Max 1 in the other software.
Yeah,
So
because we're sending.
that's receiving that, so you're
This is
sending it to from Max 1 in the other program.
Oh, okay. So,
I think.
Yeah, that would be right.
yeah.
But I don't know why
Because from Max 1 and 2 is there, but to Max 1 and 2 is not.
I don't know how
So
to.
we're not receiving on to Max 1.
Wait, and so
Oh,
I've
right.
only ticked in Black Controller from Max 1.
And I don't have oxygen for it.
There's 2 Max
Yeah, the
1.
oxygen. Yeah, it's just this.
Controller. Maybe if we tick that.
Sorry?
If we tick.
What are we trying to do? So what we can do is just quickly test this. Let's just have a look. And whilst that's loading,
How do you choose ports in Max?
sorry?
How do you choose ports? Like,
You got to make a message and put it into an object that has a port related to it, and then you can set the letter of the port. And if you open the
All right, so we're just going to test this. I'm just going to grab this, something from here. But I'm assuming we'd send it to Max 1 and the receiving thing would get it from Max 1. That's why I just want to find out why you guys don't have that option. But I've just gone into Ableton, something we know and love. Yeah, these are all the from. So if I go from Max 1, I go here, I send this to Max 1, and we go here and we bang. Okay, so we're not getting a note.
maybe it's from.
try swapping them.
Yeah, if we go from. Oh, there you go, from.
Yeah, because it's that,
From-
because then they're both the same channel. It doesn't matter if it's to or from.
Okay,
They have to
cool.
be the same.
So-
Like, if it's 4B on that.
Excellent. So everyone just select from Max 1.
Sick.
Yep.
Alright.
Great. So that's, and we can see now that that is sending messages to anything that receives from Max 1. Cool. Great. So let's head back to QLC for the moment. So now you're here. What did you want to do
Ah,
to
shit.
attach it to this button?
So we need to go choose and then go from Max 1.
So did everyone see that? Yep.
We can double click on that and press OK, or alternatively, if you know exactly what note you want to do, you can double click and just enter the number. But we don't know that yet.
So we're going to do this.
we just press OK, and then that didn't work. So, so I think
Do we have to play a note?
no, we'll just double click and press 60, I guess. 60, because we can choose that, right? That's the number that was coming
Yep.
up before. No, why aren't you working? Oh, you can assign a key. I did that the other day. I don't know why it's not working. Auto detect. Oh, maybe.
Oh yeah, so auto detect,
Let's
and now we'd go to here
and
and play our note 60. Oh, that's
48.
48.
It
Damn
doesn't
it.
matter.
Okay.
It'll pick it. It'll pick it, and then
It got it. So what you want to do is just press auto detect, right? Have we done that?
Yeah.
And then go into Max, bang your note.
Why is it coming? Can you change the note for me?
Sorry?
Can you? Yeah. If I go bada boom, bada boom.
Have you gone to Max and
Alright.
the note?
It seems to work.
That's it.
So they're all
No, just bang your note. Yep. Yep. Is that gone to from Max 1?
Toggle blackout. Sick.
Yep, great. Okay, so show now QLC.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just haven't banged it yet.
So then you press, yeah, so
So
I don't know what number. Let's just go middle C.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just checking because the numbers are different. So
Yeah, yeah.
60, I don't know.
but it's showing 189.
189, yeah. So,
But anyway, let's press OK,
yeah, okay. And then,
let's try another button. Do the same thing, but for black.
yeah, so I just figured something out.
Yes.
We don't need the blackout scene. We can, so right click,
Ah.
and then you
So
can.
I'm going to delete
no,
this.
Don't delete it.
Oh, don't delete it.
No, because you can have a button that triggers a blackout.
Oh, cool.
So you can, and then go widget properties.
Yep.
And then just press toggle blackout down the bottom on button press, and then just change the max
Great.
input to, I don't know, we'll go to C higher or something.
Yeah. So I'm going to go into Max, and I'm going to go the octave above.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
detected it. Okay.
And then,
Oh wow.
yeah, so that's
I wonder if I can name that. Or,
Yeah.
Oh
No,
no,
you
no.
can't.
Okay, cool.
And then, so now theoretically, if we go here, simple desk shows us,
Why can't we name it?
I don't know.
Universal.
So,
I noticed there's a blackout in the top right corner as well.
Okay, cool.
So that might be something
Yes.
universal.
it works. Oh yeah,
Oh,
blackout is highlighting blackout. So,
I see
It
what
But is it even though that's still on?
yeah, so, like, if we press it, yeah, it highlights blackout. So blackout,
Blackout probably just kills everything.
yeah, so, I mean, we don't have to.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a simpler way to do it, and
Okay.
it's kind of good.
What I'd like to do then, just before we do it, so did everyone see the play button up the top right? Takes it in and out of.
Design mode
Design mode up
and
here?
performance mode, I think is what it's called.
Cool. So like leave it, if it's in performance mode, you can't edit it. Let's keep this just going to our second scene, okay?
Yeah.
Just for now. So auto detect, let's call this black, just because I want to see those faders move.
Yeah, and then just
And
press,
then we have to add a scene here. We're going to select black, okay, and then done. So that's that. So now if we go into performance mode, if we press white, we should see all the faders up for white. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then we go to black. Now, do we need to turn this
I
off?
don't know, I haven't.
So
Obviously, yeah,
that's
that works.
worked,
But, if we
but
leave
did
the-
we need to leave
I
white
think
on?
it overrides. It overrides, so the last thing you press it's like in conjunction. So if you have blue, I mean if you have R, then G, then B. and
Okay,
you press
so-
them, they'll just cascade.
So notice here, it's even if it's like, okay, so if those are off,
Yeah.
we've got nothing here, correct?
Yeah,
If we press black, we're going to get that scene, which is the black scene. If we turn that off and show white, we're going to get the white scene, which is what we want. But if we just click black,
Yeah, you want.
still going to get that.
it's because it cascades. So any fader that's up will continually be up.
Yeah, it's
So
not.
you-
So all we'd need to do is find a way that whenever you send.
I got it.
So if we send a note from here now, do you think it'll receive the message? Ah, there. Can everyone see that? Cool.
That's pretty sick.
But it's like on.
Yeah. So we'll be out. What we'll need to do is work out something that whenever you send it clears whatever else is there. But that's cool. Does everyone have that functionality right now? Everyone else? So we've currently got on and off from our MIDI notes in Max. There, 2 different scenes, right? Great. Can everyone now? Can you have a think?
I know how to fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do that.
Let's just get out of this
What are
mode.
you gonna do?
Yep. Make it black.
Oh no.
So, yep. Select the scene. Select scene black. Okay.
The scene's
And then
only.
that's it. Okay. So show me Max and this on the same screen.
Oh no, it doesn't work the same way. Flash functions. Well, this is. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Press for white. B. Yeah. B. Yeah. I like to be good. Okay. Let's map it again. There we go. So you see
Widget
this
property.
play button up here? Yeah, it's the play, right? So now press the B. Cool, see if it's turning on or not.
Oh shit.
And then which
Need
one
to go.
turn on white? I think it was the right, so that's a C. Excellent, excellent. You're up to date. It's good. Cool. Thoughts?
My thinking is that I just have to check it. So that's what I was saying about. Oh, sick. Yeah, Flash doesn't work. Oh,
No. Do it again. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Every time it gets a signal. Anyway, sorry, I was just mucking
Yeah.
around.
Tell us about Flash.
So Flash is just. Well, I'll show you. Flash. I'll show you how I did it, but
Yep.
first we'll show you what the result is.
Yep.
Every time it gets a signal, either note in or note off,
Mhm.
it flashes.
But now
It's just really,
it's shifty.
yeah, it's real shifty. It's
No, it's just probably because you were clicking it again before.
I think you can you choose it? Oh, you don't want that.
You were just clicking it again before the MIDI
Time
note had
was
finished.
done. So I think the reason why,
Where's Flash? There. Okay.
yeah, Flash is just Flash on and off.
Okay.
So I'll just change it back.
Yep.
That's what I was saying about blackout.
Mm.
It's why they want you to use this. It's
Yep.
because everything, the way this program works is everything cascades. So it's like it's
Yep.
kind of like playing the piano. Like you can press C, and then if you press E,
Yep.
E is still down.
Yep.
And then.
But that's what I mean. If it was blackout, or let's say it was white and blue, red and blue,
Yeah.
we'd want it to
Just swap.
swap to different scenes to trigger different scenes. Yeah.
Can you do it with the fader? Is what I wonder. Like, what are the settings for faders?
I think that's okay for now. Can we hold it there
Yeah.
at that point? Because
Yeah.
I think the solution, there's either because I'm sure this is a regular thing that people come up against.
Yeah.
There's either a simple solution in QLC that we'll just need to find, or I could think of a bunch of ways we could do it in Max. So like whenever you send a note, you'd store that note that you just sent, and then when you send a new note, it'd first send the note that you stored to turn that old one off and turn on the new one. So we could do it with some very simple logic in Max like that.
Yeah.
But I think we should stop there for the moment because that's cool. And can everyone see that we've connected Max to QLC? And if you had it, so if we look at the simple desk, if you had your, oh, this has gone red now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes red when you click on it.
Oh. Anyway, and if you had your lights hooked up, we'd be.
You not in. You need to be in the mode.
Oh, you need. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You need to see it move.
There we go.
You need to see it move reactively.
Yep. You need to be.
Oh, that might be why my thing fucked up, and I couldn't get the MIDI signal.
So can everyone see that there? We're changing there is. So all lights on, all lights off, all lights on, all lights off. Is that cool? Does everyone have that working? Yep, you've done the one thing that we need to do is press play. Now do it. Cool. So that's how you change the patch. So you can have different lights reacting to MIDI notes just one way from Max, yeah? Any questions at that point? Thank you so much, Caleb. That's awesome.